Hello guys, yes, welcome back again to the channel. Yeah, please, as usual, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel. Okay, I have a lot of things to share with you today about students, and yeah, so please subscribe to the channel. Ich bin Alphonsine. Okay, so now a lot of people are asking me about students with like children. Okay, if you're a student and you have a child, okay, what are you supposed to do? Yeah, now in Germany there are a lot of things that you should know, okay, so that you don't find yourself wanting. Yeah, okay, so let me start with this. If you are a female student in Germany and you have a child, okay, first of all, what is the nationality of that your partner? Okay, so assuming your partner is a German, right? Now I have said it over and over that if you really want to stay in Germany, there are a lot of things that you can do, right? One is to get a decent job after school, yeah, and then yeah, I have explained in my previous videos, which you can check yeah, on my YouTube channel. And of course you can also give birth, okay, but in this case your child should be a German. So the many people get married to Germans, yeah, or they give birth with Germans, and then so far as your child's father is a German, then automatically you are also allowed to stay in the country. Now you should know that as a student, okay, you are being given a resident permit. Yeah, so this resident permit, the card, okay, so I will explain all these things later in the next videos that I do. This card, yeah, has a paragraph, okay. In German they say paragraph, and then in English is article. Nah? So the student's card has an article that you should note on your student. When you take your student ID, you have an article, okay. So this article actually limits you to do certain things, okay, but as soon as you give birth to a German child, then your article is raised up, okay. So then your article raises up to article 28. Yeah, so if you have article 28, you are allowed to stay in the country, okay, because you have a German child. So you had the article because of your German child, okay. So this 28 is given to you 3 years, every 3 years. So yeah, that is how it functions. So assuming you are a student and you give birth, yeah, I'm not talking about where both parents of the child are foreigners, okay. I'm talking about if one parent is a foreigner and one parent is a German. So assuming this female student, yeah, is an international student, a foreigner, and then she comes to Germany and she gets someone, a German, and then she gives birth with a German whilst being a student. I'm not talking about when you have completed, nah? Whilst you are a student, okay. So once you give birth, automatically you should get article 28, okay, which allows you to stay in the country. So later on I'll explain the article, the student article, and then the 28 explanation to that in my next video. But now what I want to focus on is that as a student who has given birth, okay, you are entitled to a lot of things, okay. First of all, you should know that you are entitled to BAföG, right? So this BAföG is kind of a loan that is given to students, okay, so that when you get a job, then you pay subsequently, all right. So yeah, and then you should also note that you are also entitled to get money from job center, okay. This they call Leistungen, okay. So you are entitled to get money from job center. And with the job center, okay, in Germany, you should know that it is not easy. Everything that deals with institutions are very, very cumbersome. Yeah, they themselves, they know that everything here is, the system is kind of bureaucratic. Okay, so if you want to take money from either BAföG or job center, the procedure you have to go through is not easy. Okay, so the earlier you start, the better. Now, once you give birth, the first thing is that you have to go and take the child's birth certificate, and you should make sure that this birth certificate is done. It takes a process, a procedure, and it takes some time. So you as a mother, okay, or the parent, have to make sure that this birth certificate comes on time. All right. Now, you are also entitled to get Elterngeld, okay, if that is an if, okay, if you as a student, you are not working, because obviously when you give birth, you need some time home before you start working. So you are entitled to that, all right. And the child is also entitled to get Kindergeld, okay, which is the money the state gives to the child, right? Now, this birth certificate should be taken as early as possible, because you will take this birth certificate to process the Kindergeld for the child. You will also take this birth certificate to process the Elterngeld, the parental allowance. In English, it's called parental allowance, that you've had for yourself, okay? And even if you are, in both cases, if you are taking BAföG or job center, money from job center, you'd have to provide all these things. So you make sure that you get these documents as soon as possible. They can really delay, okay? The procedure is not easy. You can be delayed, and you should note also that, yeah, this is a hint. When you are having the student article, no? When you're having the student article, you are not being given Elterngeld, the parental allowance. So until your article changes, yeah, then they will start giving you the parental allowance. So the earlier you do all these things, the better. Now, when you get the birth certificate, yeah, you have to do the child's passport, okay? And then, of course, when you do your child's passport, if the the child is also allowed to get dual citizenship, so the father of the child can take a passport on behalf of this child, okay? So you do the child's passport, plus even before you go and do this birth certificate, you would have done something called the Vaterschaftsanerkennung, okay? This Vaterschaftsanerkennung is to tell the state that indeed the father of this child has accepted that, okay, I am the father of this child. So you take this birth cert and then the Vaterschaftsanerkennung, yeah, plus the father of the child for the child's passport, and all these things is done in the Stadt, okay? You can do it in your Stadt. And of course, when you get the child's passport, the next thing you should do is to apply for the parental allowance, okay? Because this parental allowance, you should apply, okay? But before you even apply, you have to go to Ausländerbehörde, the immigration office, and then you change your article. So your article is very, very important. You should change your article as soon as possible. Now, if it's so if, for instance, you had your child in January, let's say in January 2023, and then your student article is still running, okay? By 2023, this is just an example I'm giving. March 2023, you should have had your article changed, okay? You should have had it changed, so that this 2 months interval, okay, would be like you will not get any payment. But if you wait until you change your article in like June or July, then this whole period, you will not get money for this whole period, because then you are a student, Okay, you are a student and you are not entitled to that. Okay, so once your article is changed, it's not even about a student, it's about the article. It's about the article. Once the article is changed, then you are entitled to certain things. But once your article is still a student article, you are not entitled to some things, okay, like livestock and money and stuff. So you should do that as early as possible. Okay, so once you get all these documents, yeah, you can apply to BAFWORK or Job Center, as I said earlier on. Now with BAFWORK, it's just a loan and then you have to pay back. So I will kind of not advise student mothers to go there. Okay, but with Job Center, it's free because of your child, because your child is a German, so it's free for you. So when you take this Leistungen, you are not supposed to repay back, right? Yes. So yeah, and then all these things I'm talking about will also depend on the job of the father, okay, and it will also depend on whether you and the father of the child are married. Are you staying together? Are you partners, or are you staying separately? So all these things will be taken into consideration. Now, if the father of the child is not also working or works part-time, okay, then it's a big thing for you to tell the institution that gives you the money, Job Center, that this is the situation. Also a student, but a German, yeah, because as students you are not allowed to work like more than certain hours. Okay, so then you can prove, right? Okay, so if the father of the child is also working, okay, is working full-time, they'll look at the salary of this person, yeah, and then they will do the calculations and give you the little that you deserve. Okay, but let's see the documents that you have to send to Job Center, yeah, before your application will be considered. Okay, so first of all, as I said, you have to take your own passport, right? Your own passport and your child's passport in copies, okay? And then of course there is the Haupteintrag, like the application itself that you have to apply, okay? And it looks like this. So this is the main thing you have to apply. You have to fill in the form, and it's written as you can see, it's HA, so Haupteintrag. This is what you have to fill in order for you to be considered. Now you should also note that since you are entitled to take BAFWORK, okay, you cannot take BAFWORK and Job Center at the same time. Please note this: you cannot take BAFWORK and Job Center, money from Job Center, at the same time. So you need to be careful. And with Job Center, even in order for you as a student to take money whilst you have a German child, yeah, you should go on leave. You shouldn't be enrolled for a particular period. Please note this: you shouldn't be enrolled, you shouldn't be going to school enrolled whilst you take money from Job Center, okay? Because they feel that if you are enrolled, you can take money from BAFWORK, yeah, and then still take money from Job Center, yeah, which is like, it doesn't make sense because you are taking money from both sides, which is not good. So you should be on leave, yeah, and then, well, in your school or in your university, you should know like the procedure of how to go on leave, okay? So when you contact the school and tell them that this is my situation, you give a reason why you should be on leave. And there are a lot of reasons, such as you're giving birth, okay, you have a child, you are taking care of a minor, you are going for an internship, or you are ill, or there are a lot of things. So it's just for you to give a proof, okay? Just give a proof of why you want to be on leave, okay? But the school has nothing to do at all with Job Center. When you take the leave, it's the school's business. It's the school's business, okay? So when you just take the leave, okay, they will just print a certificate for you, a Bescheinigung. Then you can take this Bescheinigung to job center. Okay, now, so as I've mentioned, we just have your own passport, your child's passport, the Hauptantrag, yeah, the application itself that you make, and you, of course, you have to take this certificate, this leave of absence certificate, to attach to it. And in most cases, this leave of absence is taken for a semester, a particular semester. Okay, so if you want to take another leave, you have to reapply. Okay, so now if you are taking you want to take money for winter semester, yeah, you just submit the application to the school. When you have the certificate and you give it to job center, then job center will give you money for this period of time, just the winter semester. Okay, because it might be that for the summer semester you will re-enroll yourself again, yeah, and then when you re-enroll, you cannot take Leistungen, yeah. So the following semester you have to go on leave again, and then send this Bescheinigung, this certificate, to job center again. Okay, and then the cycle goes on, yeah. So yeah, leave is taken per semester. So depending on the leave, the leave will determine how job center is gonna pay you the money. Okay, right, so we've stated the things that you should send, and of course you have to, some of the cities take the Vaterschaft anerkennung, which I have explained earlier. Okay, which is the certificates to show that the father of the child has really accepted this child. Okay, and then you have to take your apply for your Lohnbescheinigung. Okay, if you had worked previously then you would have done a tax clearance, which is a Steuererklärung. Okay, in German is Steuererklärung. So you would have done this, and in most cases they really want to know whether you have done the Steuererklärung. So you go to your Finanzamt, which in English I would say your finance ministry, yeah, Ministry of Finance, yeah, and you go for this tax clearance certificate to prove that indeed you have done your tax clearance, yeah. So this is one of the requirements that they would ask you. And of course, as I said, I've talked about the certificate of study leave, and of course they will want to look at your bank statement, yeah, for the past 3 months. Now this bank statement is very, very important. Please, if you want to take Leistungen from job center, do not, I am repeating, do not, in order to be on the safer side, do not send money. Okay, please, whatever you are doing, just do it straight. The state is helping you and you are sending money home. No, do not be transferring money from Germany to your home country. No, because it even doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If you are taking Leistungen, like if you are taking support from whether job center, BAföG, or whichever institution, which they will require your bank statement, it doesn't make sense for you to be sending money home. No, because once they find out you are struggling yourself and you are sending money home to your parents or your, I mean, you should think of it. It doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all. Then you would have to write a letter to explain why you sent that money home. And if they find out, then you'll be you'll find yourself wanting, yeah. So I always keep on saying that, please, whatever you do here in Germany, you should really reflect, because you don't know the time where you would be asked to bring this document or that document. Okay, so be very, very careful. when you are sending money home, then you should be prepared to explain to the institution why you are sending money, or why you have transferred money from your account to this person's account. And even if someone gives you money in your account, you should be prepared to explain to the institution why you took this money from this person. Okay, let me give you an example. Maybe within a particular period of time, you weren't having enough money on you, okay? And for instance, your partner or the father of your child wasn't also having enough money like to support, so you had to borrow from a friend, okay, to maybe pay your rent or do something like. So in fact, this is what this is an example I'm giving you, so for you to know that there are circumstances when you can borrow, okay? But when you borrow, you should really be able to explain why you have borrowed this money. And if you are borrowing to pay your rent, I think it makes sense, because for rent you have to pay rent, and you have to pay insurance, you have to pay all these things. So if you are borrowing to pay your rent, it makes sense, okay? But not borrowing to do something which actually doesn't make sense, or sending money to someone, okay, and then you really want to take from the government. Now, it doesn't make sense. No, I will not encourage you to do that, okay? You should know what you are using your money for. Yes, so your bank statement I have said, and of course let's see your Elterngeldbescheid, which I have explained already, the parental allowance certificate. All these will be given to you, okay? And then the Kindergeld certificate, okay, it will also be given to you. And please note this: if you are staying with your partner together, yeah, well, it is assumed that the partner contributes to whatever you buy in the house. So in this case, your partner is not supposed to pay the Unterhalt, yeah. The Unterhalt, the child support, your partner is not supposed to pay it, but your partner is supposed to pay this money when you guys are not living together, okay? Your address are separate. So they will calculate the salary of this person, and then they will deduct the amount and give it to the mother, okay? So this is done by another institution. Please don't be smart and then tell the job center that you have spoken to the father of the child, and the father of the child gives the money to you in your hand, or the father, at the end of the month, the father of the child brings something which there isn't any proof, okay? Go through the right system. Just report to the Unterhaltsvorschuss, okay, the child support institution, that I have given birth with this person, which we are not staying together, okay? And then fill the form. They will help you to do that. So when you do it, yeah, they will calculate, even if the amount of money your partner is earning is not enough, okay, the state or the Staat can add a little and then give it to the mother. Yeah, so don't say you take the money from the father of the child like in cash or something that you would not have any proof. No, they really need documents, okay? So do this and then get a Bescheid, like a certificate for it, okay, so that you can give it to job center. Yeah, okay, so we've talked about the Bescheid for the Unterhalts, and of course they will need your rental contract. Okay, how much are you paying for rent? Are you paying heating separately? Are you paying electricity separately? It's all stated in the rental contract. And then are you paying water separately? Okay, so most of the times, yeah, if you are staying in a student hostel, everything is included, so you not have to pay separate things. So when you give the rental contract to them, they know what it is, then yeah, they will pay that one also. And of course, you have to give them your health insurance, okay, your health insurance certificate plus the card, and then your child's health insurance too, of course. So they will pay everything to the health insurance directly, okay. Most of the times what they do is that they will pay this money to you minus the health insurance, and you would have to pay the rent, okay, directly, and then the rest of the money is for you to take care of yourself and your child, right? Okay, so yeah, that's it, that is it. And note that as a parent, if you are taking Lystungen from Job Center, you are not entitled to pay the radio and TV broadcasting stuff, okay. So they will give you a letter also from Job Center, so that you state your TV and license ID, then you can post it to the TV and radio broadcasting whatever corporation, and then they can exempt you for that period of time, yeah, that winter semester, that period of time. So if you really want to take another Lystungen from Job Center, then you, as I said, you have to renew it for leave, okay. You have to reapply again, and then they will give you the leave, and you go through the process, okay. But this time around, you have all the Bescheid, okay, the certificates like the Eltern Girls, Kindergirl. So all these things are in Job Center. So what you have to do is to complete a Weiterbildungsantrag, okay, so for it to continue, yeah, which is the WBA, as you can see on my screen, yeah. Okay, so aside this, there's some certain little that you have to fill, okay, such as the UH2, okay, the UH2, okay, to prove that the father of the child pays the Unterhalt for you. And of course, you state the job of the father, the address where the father is staying, okay. That is if the father of the child is not staying with you, right? And then of course you fill the SV, okay. So depending on your situation, the main application is there, and then they have supporting documents, okay. So depending on your condition, then you can fill the supporting documents to attach to this document, and then send it to Job Center, yeah. I hope it is clear now. This money, then you can support yourself. But let me give you one advice: you shouldn't be on Job Center for a long period of time, okay, because when you are given Article 28, within 3 years, okay, you can apply for a permanent residence, yeah. Now if you apply for a permanent residence, what they will need is work. Have you been working for the past 3 years? Okay, have you been working for the past 3 years? Have you been taking like state support, Lystungen? So if you kind of depend more on the support of the government, then this permanent residence would take a while before you can have it, okay. So every 3 years you have to go and renew your visa, like every 3 years you have to go and renew your resident permit, yeah. So it's like a disadvantage for you, okay. So once Job Center is just for a short period of time, do not rely solely on Job Center. No, I will not advise you to do that. It's just for a short period of time. After a period of time where you are really stuck and you can't pay your rent and stuff like that, once you are out of this situation, please go find a job to do and then get your resident permit, okay. You just have to, I've always said, your language, and of course you write in Deutschland, and then with your job you can secure your permanent residence, okay, because of your child. So please do not rely on Job Center for so long. I will not encourage that. It's not good. It's just for a period of time, okay. And then note this: when you get to Job Center, you will always be told to learn the language, okay, because you are taking money from the state, and the state will not continue to be giving you livestock gain over and over and over and over. So you have to learn the language and then use the language to go and work. Yeah. So once you get there, if you are a student like this, it's just is a little bit okay, because they know that once you complete school, you get something to do. But even that one, you'll be told to learn the language. Okay. Yeah. But if you are not a student at all, like if you are a normal person and you go, it's very compulsory for you, it's a must for you to learn the language. Okay. And this language course is being paid by Job Center. Okay, so I think that you should take an opportunity to profit. Okay, just take an opportunity to do the course and then get something to do with your hands. Okay, do not rely on Job Center forever and ever. Yeah, this doesn't help. It doesn't help. Okay, and they themselves are not really happy when you depend on Job Center so much. It's just for a short period of time. Okay, so yeah, so thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please kindly give the video a thumbs up, and then of course, if you have any questions or comments, I look at every bit of comments in my videos. If you send me a message or a comment or something, I just look at it and I'll reply you accordingly. Okay, I just reply you accordingly. So kindly drop your comments in the comment section and I'll reply you. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video. I'm so grateful, and yeah, till we meet again, it's your only HBN Alphonsine. Bye bye.